everybody. It is officially day 10 of hashtag Fearlessly Authentic Michaela. That is 10 times I have been authentic with you people. I first just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's reached out to me. The past 2 days have been really hard, but mostly I've only heard from that one person negative things, and unfortunately it has been hard for me, but you guys are awesome. People I haven't heard from in years are reaching out to me and being like, hey, I love you and I support you and fuck everyone else, because you guys are just awesome, and it's been really cool to, my phone has died consistently throughout the past 2 days because it keeps ringing with text messages and voicemails and Facebook messages. So to everyone that I was not able to reach back out to, I have been trying to process the past 2 days and I have just been really tired. So I will try to get back to your messages, but thank you so much for that. But I'm not here to talk about me being bisexual. That's not what this one is about. I wanted to follow up on something I said in my last video about this whole video series was about me trying to tell my friends and family that I'm no longer religious. Just because I've had 1 or 2 people ask about that, and I just kind of want to clarify because that was what this whole thing was about, and so I want that to be something that you guys get out of me. So, zoom back to middle school, my parents started getting divorced, and I was in a really rough place, and to kind of fill that void that I was feeling from my family, just, you know, to find a home away from home that I could find some people, like some solace. Oh, I think I have sound on. Let me turn that off so that nothing beeps in here. I turned to the church. One of my friends took me to a church service with her, and I just remember feeling so comforted and just feeling a presence that was just like everything is going to be okay. And so I heavily attached myself to my church throughout high school, and I'm so thankful for that. I also regret it sometimes because I got really caught up in religion and religion and religion and what religion says, and what religion says isn't okay, and what religion says is a bad person. Which, you know, on the one hand, I appreciate it because it taught me values, and it gave me such support. Like, I met so many amazing people there, and at the end of the day, it gave me my faith and my spirituality, and I'm a very faithful and spiritual person because of my time in high school. When I went to college, though, I didn't join another ministry, just because I'd kind of started pulling away as I was getting into my senior year of high school, just because I was starting to learn some things and meet people that I had always heard were like, oh, sinners, but I was meeting them and I'm like, you know, like, it's like the only bad thing about them. Like, how are we just gonna damn a whole entire group of people? And so it was just something that was starting not to sit well with me. And so when I got to college, I didn't know how to talk about that. I was still learning who I was and like how to be myself, and I was just starting to hide who I was. So, you know, here we are 5 years later now, I'm finally being truthful with you, and I didn't talk about it with anyone. If anyone brought up like their faith and religion, it was like, oh, I'm a Christian, yada yada, and I felt like I had to be all or I couldn't be any. And so I felt like, well, I don't believe in these certain things that the Christian religion preaches, but I know that I feel like I still feel very connected to it, and there are things that I got out of it, and like it gives me a sense of purpose to be able to have some, like, I believe in my God and my faith, and like I believe that he speaks to me. And it just sucked because I thought, well, no, that can't be possible because you don't actively practice the religion, and you don't do all the things that it says you're supposed to do, and you don't believe all the things it says you're supposed to believe, so you can't be. And so though I now realize like it's always been his voice speaking to me, I said, no, that's just like my intuition, or that's just who I am, because I can't have that anymore because I don't believe in it all, so I can no longer be a part of anything Christianity. Fast forward to grad school, so I've hid that from myself for 4 years. I haven't talked to people because I thought, well, no, I'm not actually like that. I don't do that, so I can't be a part of this conversation with people. And then I get to grad school and we start learning about student development theory, and one of the student development theories we learned about was Park's theory of faith development, and it talks about how people need spiritual mentors, and it gave me the terminology that I had been missing for 4 years, and it was religion is religion. It's the practice surrounding your faith and your spirituality, whereas like your faith and your spirituality is very much like internal. It doesn't have to be something that is shared. And it was the first time that I was like, oh my God, like I can have that. Like I can have those feelings and those beliefs without being a part of that religion. It was the first time that I was able to separate it from each other. And it was just, it's the only time, that I've ever cried in grad school in class. So I cried about that because I was like, holy shit, I've been waiting 4 years for this and didn't even realize. And it was just that homecoming of, I can practice my spirituality and I can practice my faith again, and I can do this and I can explore, because it's fucking okay not to consider yourself a Christian. It's fucking okay not to go to church. It's okay to do all this stuff, and it's okay to explore your spirituality. No one told me that. No one told me that it was okay to go and explore and become a new Michaela and a new type of faith. It was, no, remember how good you were in high school. You need to get back to that. You need to get back to that. And I didn't want to go back. I only wanted to go forward, but didn't know there was anything to go forward to. So I stood still for 4 years. And I didn't want to do it anymore. And so now I'm in the process of exploring my faith. And I think what I also found too was that for 4 years, I told myself I was a shitty Christian, and then that's what I was, and that no one had ever called me that. But that's, in church kind of what they don't use those words. They just, a struggling Christian or a Christian who's lost their way. It's a shitty Christian is what they're trying to say. And so I told myself, I feel this, but I'm a shitty Christian. I'm a shitty Christian. I'm a shitty Christian. And when I was in therapy, I was talking about that, and I kept saying, well, people are just gonna see me as a shitty Christian. And my therapist looked at me and she said, who said that to you? Like, well, no one, but and she was like, you think you're a shitty Christian. And I was like, oh my God, because it's been so ingrained in me that this is the only way, this is the one true way. I wasn't accepting myself, even though I clearly do not feel for the religion anymore. And I look back now and I try to think what took me away from it. And I think it was some of the people that I met within the church that I was like, how can you preach this, but then I see you doing this? And then it was the condemning groups of people, and one specifically LGBTQ+, I now look back and I think, why was I so angry that they did that? Well, I've always been this way. I just didn't want to admit it to myself. So there's one mystery solved. But there was just a ton of stuff that I could not reconcile with what I was learning and with what I was hearing, because I was meeting people. And at the end of the day, Jesus didn't sit in a church and read a Bible and say, this is what we need to do, and this is how we need to do it. He was out with everyone, and he wasn't judging people, he was loving people. And I found that the church, in my own experience, and that's what I'm saying is, I got such great things out of my church experience when I was in high school. So I don't want to lessen that for anyone, because your faith and your spirituality and your religion, that's all up to you, and that's a very personal experience. But I just found that as I was getting older and I was starting to actually think for myself, the church was not all about love. It was about status quo. And I was like, no. Status quo from High School Musical, you're welcome. And I just wasn't about it, but I didn't know how to be spiritual without being religious, because I didn't know that was a thing, because they don't teach you that in the South as a high school student. And so I guess I'm thankful for my journey, but I can no longer be a part of my religion. It's not that religion. It's not even mine anymore. I can say that. It's not my religion. I don't believe in it. But that being said, I still very much, for me personally, I speak to God and he speaks to me and he shows me the way, and I ask for guidance. And no matter, if I got hit with the car today, my first instinct is to say, thank you, God. I know there's a plan. It sucks now, but down the road, I'm going to appreciate it. That's a natural instinct for me. And a lot of the things I learned through that religion, I still keep with me. But at the end of the day, I am different enough from it that I don't want to claim it. I don't. If you, it does a lot of good, but unfortunately, it also does a lot of bad, because I have found that many of the people that I interact with, that's the only way. That's the only way. Well, I hate to break it to you, but who wrote the Bible? Men! We mess up all the time! Jesus wasn't sitting there oh yeah, no, Paul, that sounds good. Write it again. No, backspace, I don't like that. We wrote that. And while there's a lot of great stuff in there, there's also some stuff that I'm was that really? Or was that just in the day and time what your people thought? Because at the end of the day, I am bisexual. I am proud of that. I am not religious. I am proud of that. I'm a million things that I'm proud of. And if that makes you think that I'm a sinner and I'm going to hell, as I told that family member the other day, well, that's fine. I'll see you in your hell, because I know between me and my God and my spirituality, I'm not actually going to hell because I might want to sleep with a woman. It's fucked up, you guys. Like, I can't reconcile it. Some of the best people I know are not straight. And I just think it's crazy that a religion that is supposed to teach love makes some of the most hateful people in our world. And it breaks my heart because I know that's not what it's about. It's just what they've chose to make it about. And so you know what? In this day of time, Christianity is not supposed to be about hate, but it is in this day and time. So I'm removing myself. I denounce the religion of Christianity. But I'll tell you what, there's still hope because I can now move forward still with my Christian-based ideals on what on just love and accepting people and just being there for people and not passing judgment, because that's not your fucking call. It's not your call. And all you do when you spread hate is to just push them away from things. And that's never been my MO. That's never been my, I feel I'm going to shove it on you. That's okay. I would instead like to hear what other people experience. And I think that's one of the greatest things I found too now is that, like, it's okay for other people to believe different things. And there are so many different cultures in the world. You're telling me that there's one true way, and that there's all these different religions, and that only one is going to get you there, and that it happens to be the religion that the white folk brought over to America. I don't think so. And I don't know. And people may hate me for this, but that's it. I don't believe in religion because religion is hateful. And I heard it said it's not always hateful, but I've just found in my experience, like, that's why I'm pulling away, because there's too much hate and there shouldn't be. And I think a pastor said it best the last time I went to a church, which was like a while ago. My aunt and uncle took me, so thank you, because I really enjoyed that sermon. It's the last time I really enjoyed it. But anyways, the pastor said, even Jesus could not break through your religion. So how do you expect me to want to be a part of that? I don't. And I'm not gonna, because I'm fearlessly authentic. I'm bisexual, and I don't believe in that religion, but I'm still a spiritual and faithful person, and that's me. So accept me or leave me. That's all I got. That's it.